Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Man United Agenda. And it is Friday night, and we have a new face, a past face that's back on with us, and all to do with Ten Hag has rejected talks with PSG signing Marcus Rashford. Welcome. Don't know what happened there with the intro, but anyway, guys, welcome to the channel, and it is the Man United Agenda. And for you, all of you out there who's new to the channel, please smash that like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 2.5k subscribers, but before we go, we need to introduce our main man of the moment. OMONDI, sir, how we doing? It's hot in the building, sir.
Yeah, it's sizzling hot, isn't it? And it's Friday, and it's going to get even hotter tomorrow when we play Brentford for the loser. Because if we lose, woo! His finger's been banned from last week. It's going to get even worse. So yeah, we've really got to go out there and be professional and fix the problems that Bath Time highlighted on our show. The eye test Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Plug.
Plugging the eye test as always. And bath time, sir. How is Love Island? Finally finished, and we finally got you back onto the show. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. I am so hot that I'm actually just in my pants today. So there's an image for you. Got a pre-season friendly
Who's
tomorrow.
Justin?
Next door neighbour says he knows you. So I'm really excited to be back on. It's going to be great, and check out the eye test on Tuesdays for me and OMONDI giving you proper, real content.
Oh wow! Plug, eh? Another plug. And Jack, sir, welcome to the channel. First time. Absolute pleasure having you on. How you doing, Jack?
All good, guys. Thanks for having me. It's like I'm from Ireland. It's just as hot over here. We're looking 32, 33 degrees. I'm just happy that the camera goes from there up rather than there down because I am sweating. But look, the heat is on. The heat is on, and it's on Ten Hag to pick the right starting 11 for tomorrow. So let's see what happens. Looking forward to it.
Brilliant. I've been up and down all day. I've been traveling on from where I am to all the way to Greenwich and back today. So it's been a long day, and to jump on here now, and it's Friday night as well. Listen, it's a pleasure as always. And as I said, it's looking at the show tonight. We got bath time, we got on Monday. And guys, if you haven't seen as yet the eye tests on the channel on a Tuesday night, please go and check them out because they give you fantastic content. I don't get involved in that show. It's past my bedtime, so I'm fast asleep. So let's kickstart the show, guys. And we're talking about Man United boss Ten Hag rejected talks with Rashford leaving. So he's saying Rashford's not for sale. This has come up many times when it comes to Rashford from last season, and it's because he's coming down towards the end of his contract. So first things first, Jack, I'm going to throw it out there to you, sir, first. With this talk about Rashford leaving, is it time Rashford leave, or has he still got a future at Manchester United? And can you see him getting his head down and actually getting to where the level he should be getting to?
I can. Look, I can see him getting his head down and working hard. And I've said it an awful lot over the last maybe 3 to 4 months, ever since Ten Hag got the job, that I think Rashford could potentially be a player that certainly improves under Ten Hag. Look, he's an academy player. He's been there an awful long time. And I think that does give them that kind of maybe extra year or so in relation to maybe fans and saying, is it time to go? Look, let's not beat around the bush here. His performances last year were absolutely nowhere near good enough. And I've always said that I think this season is a pivotal season for him. If he does have a season like he had last year, I could easily see a lot of people saying it's time for him to go. I'm in the kind of bracket to say, look, let's give him one more year. I hope this link with PSG is not an angle for him to look for a new contract, because I think over the last 10 years, Manchester United have given contracts on the back of poor performances. And I think you should only get a new contract if you do perform well on the pitch. So, look, I want him to stay. I'm going to give him one more year. I don't think he's a world beater. I've always said it. I don't think he's world class, but I do think he can do a job for Manchester United under Ten Hag. So I'm going to say one more season and hope he stays.
Bath time obviously is coming down to the end of his contract, and he's on for a player his age one, and for what he brings to Manchester United, and like what Jack said there, it's almost like Man United give players contracts for underperforming. Rashford's going to be one of the highest paid player at Man United.
Yeah, probably. I don't really pay a lot of attention to how much people are paid, as it always kind of fluctuates. But the thing with Rashford is that I'm sure everyone who watches knows that I've always sort of been a bit Rashford skeptical, even in his good form. But I'm also loath to lose academy boys. If I had my way, like John O'Shea and Johnny Evans and Welbeck would all still be at the club. I hate seeing them go. It's awful. But the thing, right, with Rashford, and the reason that I would keep him, unless they offer anything over 80 million, is that Rashford came through under Van Gaal. Then he went to Mourinho, and then he went to Ole. None of these coaches are particularly attacking coaches. We now have Ten Hag, who is completely different to all of these guys. And Rashford, with a coach that focuses on attack, on movements, on teamwork, we might see him finally reach the ceiling of probably the most exciting player the Academy has produced since Scholesy or Giggs. So I just get his work rate up. Get his work rate up and his confidence up, and I think we can give him 18 months. But no, I don't want him paid 300k a week, if that was the question.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
For me, to be open and honest with you, if giving him 300k, I think it's work out to be about 315 he will be getting at Manchester United if he does sign a new contract. There's players who play for other club is on nowhere near that sort of money that he's on. So, and he's not performing as well as those players. So for me, he shouldn't be getting anywhere close. I don't even think Rashford, and again, this might sound disrespectful. Not a lot of people might like the comment, but I don't even think Rashford should be on no more than 160k a week, if that.
I agree.
Yeah.
His performances haven't projected any better. You know, I mean, look, he had a very good breakthrough season, but it was out of desperation, really, when we had no strikers, and it was kind of, okay, here we go. I want him to play with a smile on his face again, you know, like we've seen early on in his first season. And it for the last, like you were saying there, 18, maybe 24 months, he hasn't been doing that. And we all want him to do well. We all want him to, you know, to be the Manchester United focal point. But I don't know if it's going to happen. I hope so.
On Monday, with him about the contract situation being over 300k, I know obviously last season you weren't convinced with him and with his performance, but like what Bath Time truly say just now, he's got a manager who actually probably is more attacking minded and can actually probably produce the best out of Rashford, because Rashford's best season was under LVG.
I agree with the guys about Rashford. The last chance saloon this is for him. He's at the age now where he's to blow up. He should be showing something, you know, finesse, intelligence, growth, and we're not seeing that with him. It's like with footballers, yeah, pace is important. We all know how effective pace is, but the great players will have pace and a little extra spice to add to it as well, you know? It's like when God's handing out ingredients. He's filled up the pace with him, loads of pace. You know, when it comes to like skill and finesse and things like that, he's sort of held back a little bit, you know. I'm not happy with that. I don't see, it's like Tony Daly without the pace. What have you got? It's like Michael Owen without that electric pace before his hamstring's gone. You know, he's not really going to be that effective. And I think Rashford, he needs to add to his game. It's been a long time coming now. So the reason I say I agree with Bath Time at 18 months and Jack about giving him a bit more time is because let's see him under some good coaching and see what he can get out of his game. Because at the moment, up until now, he's gone stagnant for me as a player. It's just about pace, running into traffic. I'm repeating the same things I've been saying every week the last couple of years on this show. Running into traffic, lack of like team play, lack of real confidence. And when the guys on the panel are talking about, let's see if he gets confidence, I don't think confidence alone will make him that player that we want to see to be effective and someone who should be starting for a team as big as Manchester United, who want to be challenging for major trophies, not minors, So confidence should be natural, should be there at 24. He's playing for a big club. He's well known. He's loved. Where's the confidence gone? Why is he being shot like that? So I want to see more from him. And the managers endorsed him today with some really positive comments. So there's your confidence, Rashford. Chew on that.
And bath time, obviously, I know you do like quite a lot of tactical breakdown and things like that. Obviously, in pre-season, what we saw Rashford and within the first game, has he got the ability now to sort of come into it, especially if we play against Brentford, sort of either cement himself down? Obviously, we know Ronaldo's going to be that number, sort of like the spearheaded in the attack. Rashford to cement himself down as this sort of left-hand side player, or do you still think there's other players, Garnacho can come in and basically just take his position?
No, I don't think Garnacho can come in and take his position. I know everyone's well excited about Garnacho. He's really exciting. He's young. He's Argentine. All these sort of things. But he's also utterly useless at defending from the front. Like, genuinely one of the worst players I've ever seen for it. And until he sorts that out, he will not play. Like, he might get 10 minutes here or there, but you can't have someone that is that much of a liability up front. And the thing with Rashi is that I think that Rashford is a better player or has better attributes than someone like Mo Salah. When Mo Salah came to the Premier League, he was not a world-class player. He was nowhere near it. And now he is a world-class player. And that's a result of his dedication, coaching, and a system. I think we have coaching. I think we have a system. It's whether Rashford has the dedication now. And I'm slightly worried that because Garnacho is so poor at defending from the front, that there isn't going to be a challenge to Rashford. And I really want to see a fire up his backside to get him to play for the team. So I hope that was helpful, Sola.
That was helpful. Final thoughts on the Rashford situation as well. Obviously, he came in, the manager came in today and saying he's not going to, he's not going to sell the player at all. So let's go to the final one now. Do you think, would he get in the PSG team, guys? Anyone at all? Jack?
I mean, it's hard to see whose position he would take. I mean, the only position you could, realistically say is that obviously PSG have been pretty adamant in saying they don't want Neymar anymore. So is he going to take his position? He's certainly not going to take Mbappe's position because Mbappe is running the club, So I think it's a masterstroke from Mbappe. Mbappe is getting Rashford in as a left winger to play better than Mbappe, so Mbappe can go to Real Madrid next summer. It's a masterstroke. But look, who knows? I don't know. I think it's all. I'm taking it all with a pinch of salt, really. I can't see him going there. If he does, I can very well see him falling into the bracket of the players that didn't improve PSG and didn't win that Champions League. I don't see him winning the Champions League anytime soon anyway. And if Rashford goes there and he doesn't do it, he's going to fall into that bracket.
Yeah. Farmers League as well. Can't win the Champions League, can they? So
exactly.
If they can't do in the Farmers League, they're not going to be able to do it. So guys, if you're new to the channel, 24 in the chat. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I did just message Bath Time. Bath Time, did you want to take 2 or 3 of these comments away? I know you like doing them. You don't mind doing them. I'll put you in the spot.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Are they just going to come up on the screen and I read them?
Okay, cool. Let's highlight. I think on Monday might have highlighted 1 or 2. So we're just going to take them off. Oh, there you go.
All right. Gakpo could be it. He's trying to avoid an injury since the transfer rumour started floating. I watched PSV versus Monaco. Looked like he was being too careful.
So I think that's to do with Gakpo. They're comparing him to Rashford. He's a player who plays in a similar position.
And then Emma, shout out to Emma. To be fair, it's his agents that's talk with PSG, and agents talk to clubs without players' knowledge, consent all the time. So some inside workings on agents around Europe from Emma.
You got this one from, where is it?
Okay, Rashford doesn't even deserve his current salary. If it were me, I would sell him and get Gakpo and Anthony. So, strong words from Kay.
Oh,
But,
wow.
okay, Bart saying Rashford can track back and be first choice backup.
Can I just say something on that one, actually? And you've seen the second goal against Brighton last weekend. Luke Shaw gets tucked in all of the time, and Rashford is playing on the left wing an awful lot. And who was left behind? Where was Rashford? He was halfway up the field.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that, Amonde?
Yeah.
Let me give my opinion before Monday, because I know you two stick together. I know you two stick together with your eye test. Yeah, I know you two. Yeah. So I'm going to go in there. Yeah. And basically, the season, Rashford's most successful season at Manchester United is the same season that Luke Shaw had a brilliant season. Those two basically read the script from each other all the time to a T. This season, they're on a total different hymn sheet. Right, you two take it away, because I'm going to sit back and relax now.
I've just got a couple of points to make about this Garnacho. I know there's a lot of hype about Garnacho at half time. I do agree with you. But you just dismissed him, saying that he doesn't defend from the front. But at the same time, you're saying, like Roy Castle, that will say Rashford needs dedication. Dedication is what you need, you know, and confidence as well. So there's two. You're saying, I think Garnacho can learn to defend from the front, because as Jack was saying there, Rashford was nowhere to be seen in that move that we conceded the goal, especially the second goal. So I think you need to be a bit balanced with Garnacho. Give him more of an opportunity. Show him a bit more faith, because you dismissed him saying he can't defend from the front, but then you're also saying Rashford needs some Roy Castle dedication and confidence as well. You know, I don't know how you feel about that, my colleague. Bath time.
Yes, here we go now. Wait for it. Sit back, Jack. Sit back and relax.
I'm always grateful for input from my learned colleague, Mr. Juma. The thing is that Rashford is not very good at defending, right? And he doesn't. He's not very good at tracking back. And right, I'm not going to bring this up. In fact, I am. There is a counterpart to the rest defense, and it's called the rest offense. And Rashford under Ollie was used in a rest offense, where his very presence of not tracking back and being high up the pitch pins fullbacks and doesn't let them go forward. He actually first did this against Arsenal with Lukaku. But trivia aside, Garnacho will learn how to play football 100%. I can't. Was it Rayo Vallecano? Where Donny... Yeah. Did you think that Garnacho might have been the first point of failure for the goal conceded?
No, Scott McTominay.
I remember, okay. There's a guy cutting. It was Tellez. He cut in between Tellez. Tellez was exploited. I can't recall. We have to bring that up on the show.
Don't worry, I can recall.
Answer the question. Answer the question if you don't mind.
Yeah, it was. But the thing is that Garnacho he's just not ready at the moment. In the same way that like we can sort of assume Ghana isn't ready at the moment, and we can assume that Savic, I think he's playing this evening, isn't ready. They're all going to be good players, and they're all going to offer something to United, but they're just not quite ready yet. Rashford has played and performed in big games. He's a big game player. He's got like the most goals against the top 6 or something. It's whether he can do it in the really nasty, gritty away days, like Brentford tomorrow, where they're going to man-to-man press us. It's going to be absolutely awful. Like they're going to go after Shaw. I promise you tomorrow. You're going to see overloads on Shaw, and Rashford has to work. And I think he'll do it tomorrow. It's whether he does it over the course of a season. But at the moment, Garnacho isn't long enough in the tooth to come up against like Premiership players. He needs experience, he needs time. And I'm not saying he's never going to play, but for the foreseeable future, I can't see Garnacho starting unless there's an injury crisis, a war goes really badly and loads of people get called up from United, or we get, I don't know, monkeypox breaks out. But you never know, especially with what them lads get up to. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it.
Oh God! Wow, that was
Okay,
good
moving on.
analysis there. Moving on, guys. If you're new to the channel, please give us a like, share, and subscribe. We are on the road to 2.5k subscribers. We're close to it ish, but we are going to move on to the. Okay, do we want to do one or two more comments of halftime on Monday? Is there another one?
Feel bad, Joe.
Is anyone an elite athlete in the chat or on the panel? I'm guessing not. We have no idea how long it takes to come back from certain injuries, do we? He played through injuries, unlike most at the club.
True, he did. He had, was it ankle injury, shoulder injury as well? True.
Hold on. So, if I can see someone he puts on Instagram running on the treadmill, doing interval training, all that kind of thing, that's not enough for me to say why he can't track back and run back. He runs forward, okay. When it comes to running back, so maybe he needs to do a treadmill facing the other way to see if he can run that fast.
Run backwards on the treadmill.
Exactly.
And the thing is, Bill, right? If someone is on the football pitch, like it's kind of assumed that like they're back from injury, and if they're able to go out against Premier League athletes, I think it's a worthwhile assumption that they're also able to run backwards. Like, but I'm not a professional athlete. I'm in a bathtub.
Oh, brilliant. So guys, 29 in the chat. As I said, if you're new to the 30 in the chat now, guys, if you're new to the channel, just give us a subscribe. If you're not new, you know what to do. Just give us a like. And also plug in another show at 10 o'clock tonight, guys. The Friday night takeaway will be on at 10 o'clock as well. So make sure you tune in. If you haven't seen it yet, just make sure you tune in. So we are going to move on to the next topic, and it's Ziyech. Apparently, according to rumors, it was blocked. Ten Hag apparently wanted this player, and it was blocked. So let's go now and ask the questions. Bath time.
Okay.
This move with Ziyech, was he a player, one, that you probably would have had at United? Two, is this just proven how bad Manchester United are from upstairs with sort of getting in the right player who the manager has requested?
All right. For number one, I think he's a good player, Ziyech. Like, whenever I've seen him play for Chelsea, he's done perfectly fine. I had a little look at his stats earlier, and they're exactly the sort of things that we're looking for. A player, he receives a huge amount of progressive passes, puts a huge amount of crosses in. Like, he'd be absolutely fantastic to have, because our right-hand side has been a wasteland. I know that Greenwood has done what he's done, but I never liked Greenwood as a player because he didn't assist or work for the team. Ziyech does work for the team. Now, you ask, okay, so we're saying that the move has been blocked. I understand why the move has been blocked, because in isolation, Ziyech is a perfectly good signing. But when you put in that we have signed Martinez, Malacia, Eriksen, all these players that what's it called, Ten Hag has worked with and knows directly, I think it's probably I don't like the consolation of too much power in one man. And Ten Hag has been driving our transfer window himself. Like, he's at the wheel. Where's Frankie de Jong? We don't know. Is he coming? We don't know. I think that this is the board not indulging Ten Hag and trying to decentralise the transfer policy, which I'm 100% for. We can't just keep having legacy players like from different managers. There needs to be cohesion and structure. So I hope that's the answer that you're looking for, Solo, because it's the one you're getting.
Thank you, sir. Very good answer as well. So I'm going to come to Jack now. And Jack, as you obviously, what Bath Time just stated there regarding about sort of the legacy and the transfer policy and how it runs, with a new manager coming in the club, you've got Chelsea who's just been taken over and they look like they're making a statement. You had Man City who just won the league and look like they're making a statement as well on top of that. You've got Arsenal who finished above us last season making a statement. You've got Spurs making a statement. And yet Manchester United, it's almost like they're skimping and scraping to save themselves some money. Is this a thing now, what we need to look at as Manchester United fan and just accept it now that we're no longer a big club?
Look, I don't think it's the fact that we're no longer a big club. I think it comes in layers, and I don't want to harp back to the early days with Alex Ferguson an awful lot, because obviously it's a new generation and it's a new era. But you look at early 1990s when Alex Ferguson was there, and look, we all know the signing of Cantona took us from the level that we were at to the next level. Now, look, I'm under no circumstances saying that the likes of Ziyech is going to get us to that next level. But we're at a stage now where we don't have Champions League football. We're not the biggest draw in the Premier League anymore, as much as we would like to think we are. And I think we need to not specifically lower our expectations in relation to players, but get players that, okay, we want players to sign for us and we want players who want to play for us. Of course we do. But we need to be realistic in who we're going to sign. And if a Ziyech will get us into the top 4 next year, then great. And we can go for the tier 1 players next summer. If we're talking Declan Rice or Bellingham or whoever it is, you know, we might be way off the mark with that. But it's going to take maybe a transfer window or two for us to sign these players, these diamonds in the rough. As let's go back to Ralph Rangnick. And I think it was a massive mistake in letting him go, because he is well versed in signing these diamonds in the rough that he done with the RB group, signing them, developing them, and selling them for a massive profit. Now, if you get him and sign him for Manchester United, develop him, you don't need to sell him for a massive profit. You have a team there that can challenge. And I think that's the biggest mistake we've done. But it's tiered. It's tiered. Am I going to go against Ziyech? No, because we're so, I suppose, thin in relation to the front line at the moment already. So I'll take anyone.
On Monday, Ziyech move blocked by apparently the Glazers. We're talking about tiers. We're talking about the structure of how we do our transfer business. But at the same time, you got to think, since under who is it, Jose Solskjaer, it's almost like we've had like the older players coming in. And for me, it feels like it's a time we scrap those big name players and sort of bringing in players that no one really and truly know about, because we've got a coach who's at Manchester United who can coach players to make them elite. So do you think this is how we need to go down the route? I know you're big in the youth and the youth system. Is this a case of, rather than looking at players like Ziyech and the move got blocked, is bringing through some of these youngsters, or they're just not ready yet?
Look, we've been looking for someone on the right-hand side, preferably someone with a left foot. We looked at Anthony, when the manager did, apparently he played with him. We were linked with him for a long time. We were priced out of that move. And then, so Ziyech is a natural option for the manager, I imagine, because he worked with him, he played with him, not played with him, he worked with him. He played under Ten Hag at Ajax in those glory years when they played really well together. For me, the positives are he's got experience. He's got a left foot wand, as Bath Time said brilliantly about what he can deliver with his left foot. He's really creative. And he plays with his head up as well. And I call him as what sort of like a wide playmaker. Because the negatives could be that he lacks pace. He's not going to get in behind and burst the man. You know, he's not going to be a threat in that way. But he'll be more of a threat, really, to the way he plays. Hold up the play and get runners off him, that kind of thing. And when you got players like him in our side, with Eriksen, with hopefully Frankie de Jong, you can see where we're going. A cultured, good footballing side. And if you look at Tadic, for example, he didn't have electric pace, but he could hold up the ball, very influential, high up the pitch, a bit like our man Ziyech as well. So Ziyech, for me, initially I'm like, nah, he's injury prone, look at his age. But I do understand why he might be an option for Ten Hag. And I do also understand, on top of that, why he might be rejected because of his age, probably injury record. He's not wanted at Chelsea. Chelsea reject. Oh, you can hear it now, you know, that kind of thing. So it's all about balance, isn't it? For a season or two, could do well. I agree with Jack. Jack said it brilliantly about getting elite tier 1 players next season. Where we're at right now, we have to be realistic. So maybe it's touch and go. I'm 50-50. I can hear both arguments and still be nodding my head, you know. So he's a very good player, though. And I think if he does come to us, he could be reunited with his manager and revitalized as well as a player, because I think his stock has dropped, and it would be a good time to buy him because he's not blowing up, and we could get him for cheap, and he could do a lot better than he has done at Chelsea.
And also, he will be riding this sick note bench as well, wouldn't he? With Eric Bailly. If he
Well,
be
we don't
propping
want
him
that,
up.
do we? I mean, Varane is one that's really disappointed
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
charges.
Very injury prone as well, he's there. So what we're going to do, bath time, there's a few comments I've highlighted, I believe. I'm just going to hit them up at you and then...
All right, so Kay is saying that he'd take Ziyech as backup to Sancho. Also is cheap. I wonder why the move was blocked. We should bring him in. Why are we blocking manager once? Who else is supposed to drive the window?
Oh, that's
This is
to do
like
with Eric
points
Ten
of
Hag.
view, isn't it?
Yeah.
You should be on points of view.
Yeah.
Bath time. What could we do now with Greenwood, one of our best finishers? Well, he did wildly over-exceed his expected goals. He didn't really contribute anything in terms of tracking back or passing. And to be honest, and this is a wild opinion, if him, Rashford and Fernandes had run more in the second half of 2 seasons ago, we would have been in with a shout of winning the league. Might not have done it, but we would have, came second, but we would have been a lot closer if they had worked as hard as they do off the pitch. Brush, there's a lack of structure. Hence why the only players we're being linked with are Dutch or some sort of Ten Hag connection. Although it is quite interesting, isn't it, that when Jack brought up Eric Cantona, does anyone remember how that move happened?
Yeah.
How did it happen?
Yeah.
There's a bit of a scandal at Leeds, I think, and they wanted to get rid of him.
They
So
rang up asking for Dennis Irwin, and Fergie said,
that's
ask him if we can get Cantona. And
Yeah,
that's
and
how
they
it
did it.
happened. That's
Yeah.
not a structured scouting program or anything like that. That's somehow how football works. But Cole, Ziyech would help the squad. He has played in the Prem, and he would bolster the squad depth that we're going to need this season if we're challenging for Europa and top 4. We need people who are going to work. Ziyech is going to work for Ten Hag, like Missy Elliott. And Chris, back again. Who has the powers that be signed that have actually worked? Maguire, 6 months late on Fernandes. If you don't buy Ziyech, that is stupid.
Oh, brilliant.
I love it.
Sorry to all the people commenting. I was just thinking about the world, man.
What time's a new thing, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, guys, 34 in the chat. If you're new to the channel, please give us a subscribe. If you're not new, just give us a like at the moment. Gavin Ward is in the building as well. What's this one?
This is why United extend contracts stupidly to keep up their transfer value. Now it's got us in trouble, e.g. Phil Jones.
And then Red Devil Studio, big up.
We haven't signed anyone good, really.
And one more.
Behave, winning the league 2 seasons ago, finishing 19 points behind City. Okay, bath time, you idiot.
Absolutely brilliant. Guys, time.
No one's going to comment anymore.
That's it. This is a part of the show where we go around, we ask everyone, is there any other business, anything story they see that they believe, or the transfer window is coming to a close as well. So let's go, Amanda. Let's do bath time first, because Amanda is the expert at any other business.
Yeah, I have actually seen something that I got laughed at by my friends, where I've seen that Alvaro Morata has been linked to us, and I think it would be a good signing. I like Morata a lot. I know he's often accused as being some sort of footballer that is literally just to launder money between 3 clubs.
I've heard that.
Yeah, he heard that as well. But I really, really like the fact that he's a sort of target man, but not a physical target man, like more a sort of like Louis Saha type who pins the ball up the pitch, gets people into play. I think with a player like that, we will score more goals than with a Ronaldo, for example. But apparently, this is a crazy opinion. So, Jack, what are you thinking about that?
My God. Look, I mean, Morata has, and I think I suppose it's endemic of every club he's been with. He's had all of the potential in the world. Has he done it at more clubs than he hasn't done it? No. And that's my worry. But again, we're going back to what do United need? We don't need a striker to win as a league. We need a striker to get us into the top 4. Now, is that 15 goals a season? It all depends on how many Rashford can get, how many Sancho can chip in with. Can Bruno Fernandes get his form back and start chipping in with goals? Is Ronaldo going to stay? Who knows? I think it's all down to, I think a lot of it depends on what we do in the transfer window before it ends, more so than keeping players rather than actually going out and signing players. And I think obviously we hung our hat on Ronaldo an awful lot last season. I think we need to expect more from other players around Ronaldo. And if the likes of Morata comes in, great. Can he get us 10 goals? But can he get us 10 goals on top of Sancho's 10 goals, Rashford's 10 goals, Bruno's 10 goals? I'm all for it.
Right. And any other business for you, Jack? Is anything?
No, any other business. I'm going to stay on topic, which is Morata. Interesting one that out of the blue came. Also, Icardi. I think I prefer him. I think he's a better quality striker. Morata's got a bad reputation, I think. Everywhere he's been, he's always missed sitters, and especially in the Premiership, that's how he's remembered for when he played for Chelsea, for getting into position. He works hard, he's strong, but missing sitters, that's what he's known for. But clearly, he's a better player than that. Let's be honest now. He played for some really good clubs, and he's a bit of a foil striker. And someone who sort of got good movement off the ball, can peel off defenders and get on the back post and try to slot things in. He's sort of average speed, good hold-up play, good interchange as well, interplay with fellow strikers, whatever. And Ronaldo's played with him before, and been throwing his hands up in the air and being a bit disappointed. I've seen them play a lot together. It's an interesting signing. It's someone, I agree with Jack again. I think he's right. We do need to, we're doing well here. I think he's right when he says that we do need to get someone in who can sort of maybe score 10, 15 goals and be someone who can come off the bench and do some damage. At the moment, we don't have that guy. We've got Martial, Ronaldo. If one of them's injured, who's come off the bench to play in that position? So we do, as a big club, fighting for top 4, which ideally we'd like to do. That's some player like Morata or Icardi would be suitable for Manchester United, in my humble opinion.
Oh, wow. And no, bath time ain't going to be happy with this, but there you go, bath time. Jack, any other business that you think of?
I mean, it's something that I've just seen in the last maybe 15 minutes or so, and it's Ronaldo has been nominated again for a Ballon d'Or.
Oh, God, I saw that as well.
I've just seen it, as we've been on. And look, I mean, it comes down to, and I've said it an awful lot on my channel, and a lot of the stuff I said is that I would be very comfortable with Ronaldo if he did leave, because we're only going to get one more season out of him, max. And if we're looking long term in terms of Ten Hag and the long term project that he's been hired to do, Ronaldo is not going to be the long term solution. But again, we're getting rid of 24 goals that we scored last season. He's nominated for a Ballon d'Or, and the reason he's nominated for a Ballon d'Or is because he got them goals in such a poor team. So I'm saying, one more season, let's keep him. It doesn't look like we're going to get any replacements. We're never going to get anyone to replace Cristiano Ronaldo, let's call it. But I certainly do think we can't get rid of 24 goals in the season that we had.
Surely that's got to be the senior veterans Ballon d'Or award. I don't think he's done enough. Really, I really don't think he's done enough to warrant being on the shortlist.
But I think it comes down to the fact that he played in such a poor team that maybe that's why he's getting nominated.
Yeah, but if that had been a Gallo who had scored 24 goals last season, there's no way that man's getting like a Ballon d'Or nomination.
I agree.
It's Ronaldo. They want some pictures with him and like have a little sniff. I bet he smells amazing. And that's what it's about. Get eyes on the prize.
Yeah, I agree.
I've been told by Mr. Rebel, do not forget the fantasy football as well on Tuesday night. So tonight we've got, after this 10 o'clock, we've got the Friday night takeaway. tomorrow we've got the watch along as well, so make sure you tune in for the watch along. And then afterwards, we've got the reaction show. Monday night, remember, 8:30, we've got Andy Tate back on with us on Monday night. And then Tuesday, we've got the fantasy football at 8:30, and then the eye test with bath time on the Monday at 10 o'clock as well, guys. So make sure you tune in for those as well. But as always, let's find out where we can find you bath time, sir.
Tuesday nights. Yeah, cheers, lads. Tuesday nights here. If you have any questions or comments for me, please tweet at Solo. He will handle it.
You know what? Yeah, bath time.
Yeah.
I'll like it and then I'll retweet them.
Well, that'll show me, won't it?
And Jack, welcome to the channel, sir. Hopefully we get to see you a lot more as well.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks for having me, guys. You can find me on United Community Channel on YouTube and TikTok. We do a transfer talk show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30. And I just started a podcast, United Community Podcast. It goes live every Monday. We're on everything: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you watch your podcast. So again, thanks for having me, and I look forward to doing more shows with you.
Thank you.
Officially the hardest working man in podcasting now, after I've heard that. Brilliant.
And then, Jack, you got on the channel, it's dominated by the Irish community.
Yeah, it is. We have. I think it's close to maybe 80%, especially on TikTok now. I do a lot of maybe daily stuff on TikTok that's dominated by the Irish fans. So and look, they're very passionate. I have to say, like myself, I'm following Manchester United because of my dad and because of my granddad. All the way back to the Busby Bales before there was even a League of Ireland. So that's where it comes from. But the Irish fans are certainly passionate, and we're just as much behind Manchester United as anyone. So we're looking forward to maybe a successful season, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, brilliant. Our panelists on here, all the panels on here, I think we're about 80% Irish.
Very good.
80% of the panelists on here is I think you got Rebel, you got yourself, which you're on the thing now here. You've got Bath Time. Where are you from?
Like a lot of different places.
Oh, okay then. So you're a man of many mystery. You've got quite a lot. There's a lot of these guys on it. That's Irish on it. So guys, but from us tonight, I'm Solo, OMONDI, Jack, and Bath Time. And Bath Time, open and honestly, it's a pleasure actually having you back on the channel.
Yes,
and
bro. It's great to be back.
Mean that as well.
It's been a while.
It's been a very long time. And Jack, we'll definitely get to see you again on the show, guys. So guys, remember, if you're watching for the first time, give us a like, share, and subscribe. And remember, we will put down, Jack will give me his information, and I'll put it onto the description after the show finishes as well. So go make sure you go check him out as well. Yeah. So guys, us, have a good evening. Remember, 10 o'clock, tune in to the takeaway. So good night.
Good night.